Well, hi, I was waiting for you. I need some advice. I'm a little overwhelmed with all these rocks that were given to me, trying to decide what the heck to do with them. Some of them I don't even know what the heck they are. So I need your advice. I've numbered each of these pieces. I'm going to show them to you. I could use some advice as to whether you think what you think they are, as well as should I just polish them as these slabs and pieces, or should I make cabochons out of them? So let's start off here with number one. I'll wet it so that we get a better look at it. It's a pretty piece. It's a pretty big piece. I think it's probably petrified wood. I mean, I see all these little, I guess, areas that look like they're probably from petrified wood, but I don't know. It's got some reds going through it and some tans and maybe some clear areas. But do I polish it just like that, or do I cut some cabochons out of it? Number two is a dendritic. It's got dendritic stuff going on. Little circle here, some little tiny pinpoint white spots. I think a lot of this may be petrified wood, but I'm not really sure. And do I polish it just like that for just an interesting little table ornament, or do I cut some cabochons out of it? This one here I'm pretty sure is probably petrified wood. But again, I could use your advice, folks. What do you think it is? It looks like petrified wood to me. Do I polish this little piece of slab here? Or do I cut some interesting cabochons out of it? Number four, again, I'm pretty sure this is probably petrified wood, but it could be a jasper. That's not petrified wood. Got some reds and tans going through it. Well, I say reds, it's more of a rusty color. Looks like some clear areas of quartz going through it. It's pretty. Not sure whether I should polish it just like that or whether I should cut some cabochons. All these are going to be the same way, and I could use your advice. And if you notice, I put a number on each one of them. So if you could leave a comment down below. This one here's got some interesting stuff going on. Again, I think a lot of these may be petrified wood, but I could be wrong. They could be jasper. This could be a jasper agate piece. It's interesting stuff. It would make an interesting cabochon, but it'll also make an interesting little piece just to put on the shelf. How about this one here, folks? Some grays, some what looks like really powdery blue, some white, some black. This one's got some cavities and a crack going through it, so if I was to cab it, I'd have to saw pieces of this off. Down this way there's a crack going and a cavity going across here, so I would have to cut pieces out of it, but I could just leave it like this and polish it. Need your advice. You tell me. Here's another interesting piece. Here, kind of whites and blacks. Yeah, kind of an interesting piece. Again, don't know if it's just a jasper or whether it's some kind of petrified wood. I know he had a lot of petrified wood in his stuff, and that's why I question a lot of these pieces. This is gorgeous. This one here I really don't know what to do with. This is a piece of gorgeous agate with lots of dendrites going through it, and you could see there's a big section of red in it. This is my favorite piece of the whole group. It's got some red going through it on one side. Looks like a lamb chop, doesn't it? Ha! Pork chop. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, I can get a beautiful big cabochon out of this. Big, beautiful pear shape maybe out of it. Or do I polish it just like that? because this one here is really a stunner. Got some of the original skin still on it. Again, not sure if this is just a piece of agate or whether it's petrified wood. I really don't know my rocks that well. I know how to polish this stuff, but this is a piece of agate. Small piece, you know. This may be really more sensible to do a cabochon out of, but again, I could just polish it for a little stand and put it on a shelf. This one here, you know, I've got a lot of, and I'm sure this is Mexican lace agate, this stuff here. This is an end cut he had. So if I was to cut a cabochon out of it, I got to grind quite a bit away because this is pretty thin along this edge. I got to get it back to at least maybe pretty close to where, just below where that red area is on that side. This side here is a lot thicker. But again, that would probably make just an interesting little piece to put on the shelf. So you tell me, folks. I'm going to take your advice on these. Now this one here, I know what I'm going to do with. You folks watched possibly a video that I did a few weeks ago where I had a piece like this where I faceted it. This one here isn't as dramatic because I would lose quite a bit of it, unfortunately. If I cut, I've got it, you know, on a slant here and on a slant here. More of this down here and up here. So by the time I got done removing some of these sections, I would have less of this tan area down here on this side, and this side's kind of jaggedy, and I would lose most of the white on this side. So not really sure. I don't think I'd want to facet this one. I'd probably want to cab it. But this one's here interesting. I don't know if you noticed that, but this does actually, my friend apparently at one time was planning on cutting a cab out of that because I see that there's a long oval drawn in here on the center, and what he was trying to capture there is the center of this, where it's got the agate going on, some banding going on through this. So it's pretty light, but anyway, that I'm probably going to cab. But should I cab it or facet it? I'm probably going to lose a lot of what's here on the edges if I do facet it. I'm going to lose a lot of it if I cab it too because of the slant that I've got here. But I could surely try. But anyway, so I just wanted to go through these, ask your advice. This will be for much future videos. I have lots and lots of material that I'm going to be cutting. But I need to start getting organized here as to what I think that I should do with some of this stuff. This piece here I'm just in love with. I don't know. I'm kind of torn whether to do that as a cab or whether to do that as a just a nice example of a slab piece. I mean, I couldn't cut a real big stone out of it because I don't have enough depth here. I'd have to have a pretty low dome on it. I also really would love to get some cabochon material out of that. I wish I had more of that. This one here was number 7 again. Number 6. Again, leave comments down below whether you think these things are petrified wood. I think a lot of these are petrified wood, but I could be wrong. That was number 6. This is number 5. I know that I cut some of the stuff in the past before I did this that looked like this and this. This is number 4 and 5 that still had the original outer area on them that looked like they were bark. And I know that there's an area here in Colorado that has petrified wood that looks like this, but this could very easily be jasper. any cell structure going on in these, but I could be wrong. They're pretty pieces. This one here has got some beautiful patterns going through it, and as I said, it's got some clear quartz going through it. This one here I think does look like it's got cell structure going through it, so I think this probably is petrified wood. Number 3. This is you know, with this eye going on over here, and what looks like dendrites going through it. Yep, that's dendrites going through it. Almost looks like fossilized plant material, and maybe that's what the dendrites are. I don't know. Anyway, and then this last piece here, lots of reds, lots of pockets going all over the place. This looks like it's just loaded with cells. So I'm thinking again, this may very well be petrified wood, but you guys tell me what you think and what you think I ought to do with these pieces. So again, I've numbered them all. That's 1, 2, 3. Let's see, this one here is number 4, 5, 6, 7. My favorite, number 8. It's a beauty. 9. This is a small piece. This probably would be better off as a cab. 10. This could go either way. I mean, it's tiny, it's little, but by the way it's designed, I mean, it could sit on a shelf pretty easily and just display that, or I could get a long oval cab out of this. I've got a lot of this material that he cut little. I've got all the scraps that he did. He took all the good slabs and did things with them and left a bunch of scraps. A lot of them are no good. They only have a little tiny bit of the lace agate going on, and the rest of it is just basic rock. This one here, not sure if I should cab it or facet it. I may cab it just so that I have a different example from the others. But again, just wanted to share this stuff with you folks. I'm probably going to do a number of these types of videos for a while because I just have so much of this material. It's just crazy. I don't know what to do with a lot of it. So I'm going to look for your advice as to what you want to see. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to start right in on doing whatever you suggest on these, but I'm going to start separating them. If you folks start saying, hey, yeah, that would be pretty cool to make some cabs out of it, then I'll put that in one pile. If you think that it's better to do some slabs with it, I'll put that in another pile. And then as time goes on, I'll start going through those things and trying to work on those projects. But in the meantime, I've got a number of very small pieces like this that I could be working on before I decide what to do with these things. So please give me your advice. Leave some comments down below. If you know what some of this material is, please let me know. And if you have any suggestions on which way you would go with them, slab or cab, I'd appreciate that as well. Okay, and until next time, enjoy all that Mother Nature has to offer. Rock on.